Evening, everyone. This is Jason for Intro to Public Speaking number one. Um, I'm doing my problem solution speech, and this is one of my audience right here. Her name is Maisie. Just so you know, I have other people here. I got my friends Olive and Michael down here. They're on the phone right now because they're in California, so it's kind of hard to get anybody out here. Sorry for the mess today. It's finals week. I'm not cleaning. And down on the floor, we got this little guy. Come here, go. Come here. Sit up. Sit up. People want to see you. Come here. Sit up. There we go. Yep. You'll get a snack now. Stay here and you get another one later. Okay, well, today, as you can see, we've got a lot of pets around, and one of the reasons is because the speech is on the problem of homeless pets in America. And for the purposes of grading, if you could start the time here, that would be fantastic. Um, well, to start out, everybody has a pet. Everybody knows cats and dogs, and that will bring warm memories of our furry friends to our minds. And even though we've got our friends here today, 70 million animals in America are homeless. And this is according to One Green Planet and the ASPCA. I'm sorry about that. Um, of these 70 million animals that are homeless today, only 8 million of them will enter animal shelters by the end of the year. And 5 of 10 of these dogs that enter these shelters will be euthanized. That's about 5,500 a day. So it's kind of a problem. Through this speech, we'll be looking at some of further issues that are caused by animal homelessness, and be looking at some of the roots of these problems and some things we can do to help alleviate them in the future. Some of the things that you don't think about when you're thinking of homeless pets is disease. Disease is a big problem because obviously these guys aren't getting vaccinated. For example, rabies. Uh, Rabies can be a really big problem just spreading around the animal population. And in worst case scenarios, it can jump from those stray pets to your pets and then over to you. And I don't know if you've ever died of rabies, but it's not a very fun time. Treating for it isn't much better. Oh, I'll let you go because obviously you don't want anything to do this. It looks like we just lost an audience member. Another problem with this is invasive species. These aren't so much of a problem with like traditional pets like your dogs and your cats and your little guinea pigs and things like that. But if you're getting something non-traditional such as an insect or a python, for instance, or anything like that, you might want to do some research into it and make sure that it's good for your local environment just in case it does get out. And this is a really big problem, particularly down in Florida. According to CBS Miami, Florida is constantly expanding its efforts to deal with a python infestation in the Florida Everglades. Now, you might be wondering, pythons in the Everglades? Well, back in the 1970s, these were very popular as pets in Florida. And very many people didn't know what they were getting into when they were buying them as pets. So eventually, they just figured the best way to get rid of them was to let them loose in the Everglades. So they've taken the Everglades over, and there's some issues with it. So the state is constantly fighting to keep these pythons from growing any further. Um, Again, that's according to CBS Miami. Uh, so the question is, what can we do about this? Well, the first big thing we can do is do your research. If you're thinking about getting a new pet, uh, you should look into what it's going to need. Different pets are going to need different things. Like if you have a long haired dog like Goku here down in the corner, you're going to need a colder environment. He's half Alaskan Malamute, so if I had him down in Arizona, he's not going to be too happy with that. Um, Being unable to take care of their animals is actually one of the biggest reasons people surrender their animals to animal shelters. Because not all of them come off the streets, not all of them are stray pets. So if you get a pet and you really love your pet and you really love your animals, which I'm sure you do your research before you get it. Because they might have some issues. Maybe they eat something funny. Maybe they have a weird diet. Maybe they're long haired, short haired. If they're a short haired dog, they're not going to be doing too great up in Alaska or something like that. Um, One of the greatest resources that you can use for this, if you're doing research, is the American Kennel Club. They have a website filled with all the dog breeds and cat breeds that you could hope for, hope for, that you could want. They're mostly purebred, but if you want to mix things up, you can see the traits that they have, what they eat, and what kind of things what kind of exercise they need. If they're a friendly dog, if they're aggressive dog, and these are all things you should consider before you're getting a pet. The second problem is the second thing we can do is spay and neuter. Only about 10% of the animals of those 70 million animals entering the shelter every year have been spayed. This is according to One Green Planet and the Watatuga Humane Society. This is an issue because one unspayed dog can create 67,000 puppies in 6 years. Similarly, cats can create about 42,000 kittens or 4,200,000 kittens in 7 years. So if these animals aren't spayed or neutered, they can create hundreds of thousands of them very quickly, and that will only expound upon the problem. Um, so unless you're thinking about ethically and carefully breeding your animals, I would suggest getting them spayed and neutered. Sometimes this can be an expensive process, but many states have resources for people who can't quite afford it. Here in Ohio, you can go and check for uh, uh, the Dog Lovers Digest has a huge resource pool for those looking to spay and neuter their pets at an affordable rate. And while it might be impossible to ever completely solve the homeless problem of animals in America, very much like solving the problem of human homelessness, we can do our part as responsible pet owners, and we can act to reduce these things. Uh, One of the things that you can do to further reduce this is to adopt from shelters. Don't go out and buy a puppy from a breeder. If there's a dog out in a shelter and they're old and they're having a hard time getting adopted, you might save a life by going out and get that dog. If you're aware of a stray animal in your local community, call the local humane society or animal control. And they'll come and help pick up your pet for you or the stray animal, and they'll help you figure out something that you can do about this stray animal. Well, today we've seen some of the problems that are caused by homeless pets in America. We've also seen a few simple actions you can take, such as doing your research, spaying and neutering, and other things that can help alleviate this problem. Thank you for taking your time to listen to this today, and I hope you have a great night.